Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, back with another round of Grand Arena Championships. This is going to be week 3, and this is the second round of the week. So I'm up against a really tough opponent, and all I can tell you right from the get-go is everything that could go wrong went wrong for me. I know it could have been a wrong choice of counters and whatnot. Let me show you the board. Show you what he's got up top here. So he's got Darth Maul, Night Sisters, a Hux team, Bounty Hunters, Padme's there. So don't see that too much, but got a Padme to look forward to. And then down in front, he's got Rey. He's got an EP team with Malik. Then he's got Darth Revan. He's got Bam with Han and Chewie. And then his CLS 3PO Chewpio team. So we're going to go that route first. And I did check the mods and everything. I always check the mods before I use this counter, even though it's kind of my go-to counter, to just make sure that, you know, it should work in theory or whatever. So going after it like I normally would, going after Chewpio, try to get the stun on him. Okay, that's fine. Keep going after him. Now, I never know if I should burn. I mean, hopefully you get the burn and get some crits, pop those exposes and get the turn meter. And I guess that's the key. So, working on that. Still going after Chewpio. Trying to decide between using the smoke screen or just doing extra damage and possibly getting some turn meter. So far, doing good at controlling the battle flow. CLS is getting to be a pain, but I'm making progress. Look at that, going after him. He's gone. So everything's going good there. Trying to start off right, you know, hopefully get a win. If I can get a win, then so much the better. But you'll just see how some of these battles end up turning out. This one, you know, is pretty standard, thankfully. Everything went right in this one, where I was able to stun Chewpio and then slowly work him down. CLS is getting to be a pain, so look at that. I'm losing protection. I've lost a health banner over there on R2, so it is end up costing some points, you know. But so far, so good. Working on getting him down. Got Illuminated Destiny off, so everything's good there, and he's almost out of there. There we go. Got done, but only 50 banners. So it did bleed 4 banners on that team. Now I'm using Supreme Leader Kylo against his Darth Revan team. So it was kind of smart on him. He put Malik in with an EP team instead of his Darth Revan team, because I would use Supreme Leader Kylo on that anyway, and I guess you would get a twofer, you know, knock out a strong character like Malik. Whereas now it's separated and it's 2 teams you got to deal with. So I was able to get through that just fine. I got a Ray mirror here, and this is the same Ray mirror that I've been telling you guys about that I've been using. Ray with Basti and Hermit Yoda. It's a little bit tougher when he's got the armor there, because I was worried about the armor giving out the Beskar to Ray. Then that could make things you know, pretty hairy there if she's constantly counterattacking and can't be crit and all kinds of other stuff. So that would have been pretty bad for me. Luckily, she ended up giving the Beskar over to Barriss, and that's fine. I can deal with that. I'm just trying to get one or the other of them out. That way I don't have to worry about these extra side characters healing up and making things harder on me. So, got armor out, working on getting Barriss out of there. That way I don't have to deal with her passive healing and her big heal that she does. It just ends up prolonging the battle. And I think that's the point, because Ray mirrors by themselves normally end up taking a good while. And so if you've got healing and you've got the enemy Ray wrapped in Beskar, that can dramatically slow down the progress of this team, I would say. And so you can see that already I've got about 2 minutes left on the clock, and I've still got 2 enemies left to defeat. And like I said, Barriss can just keep healing up. Even if I'm trying to work Ray down, get her in the yellow, she's got that protection and Bear's doing her heals. There's not a whole lot you can do. And so she keeps getting into her ultimates. Look at that. I still haven't killed Bearish yet. Down to 1.5 minutes. Got her into the red. And then it's like, come on, I gotta get her out. I gotta get down to one character. Finally, with about 1 minute left to go, ended up killing her. And so now I can focus on Ray. I'm trying to hurry though. So look at that, under 1 minute left. And I need to be able to get into my ultimate and do some damage. So here we go. I'm in my ultimate. Thankfully, that was enough. Got 54 banners there, and that worked out. Here's that EP team with Malik. And so I wasn't really sure how I should go about killing this team or what I should use. And I couldn't burn a GL because I already burned 2 of them up front. And I didn't know what I'd have for the back. So the only thing I could think of to do was use Jedi Knight Revan here with Grandmaster Yoda. And then I figured, okay, Jolie can at least bring him back. And, if someone ends up dying from Malik's drain, at least he's going to revive them. So that was my figuring on this. I'm sure there'd be, better choices to use or whatever. Because I end up killing Red, then I go after EP, kill him, and then it turned into a mess. Because I'm going after Malik, and I can't either stun him enough or increase cooldowns enough to do anything to stop him from healing. So there's really no way to kill him. I had it on auto the whole time, and I just couldn't make any headway. So you see it's going to time out there, and that was it. I got stuck with a lone Malik. So then I went in to try to clean him up, and I figured, okay, Assassin could hit him and knock his health down, and then I could KO him with Savage. And that didn't work because his health was just too high, and I couldn't get him to lower it at all. Even with doing some damage, it wasn't enough to get him into the yellow, that half health that he needs. He would just heal up just enough to where, I couldn't do the damage that I needed. So I kept trying to zap him with Assassin and hit him with everybody else's moves, saving Savage's special. And I just couldn't make any progress. And this is my cheap cleanup team. So with this should have, in my mind, if it would have worked, that's a cheap cleanup. I don't have to waste anything super good on this. And that saves me a lot of the rest of my firepower for everything else, okay? So that's what I had planned. And then you see Malik had other plans. So I ended up backing out of there because I actually was worse off. So while I think of what I'm going to do on that, I went ahead and took Padme in against this Bam with Han and Chewie. And they seem to work okay. So they've got the courage and the, as long as they got the protection up, they're going to have that cushion. So I don't have to worry about them being KO'd real quick. They were able to tank out some whistling birds. They're doing their thing. Padme keeps giving them protection up with her basic. So, yeah, not an issue. They get the courage stacks, and that's how they do their damage and knock out Han and Bam. So that's all I'm trying to do here. And that's pretty much how I figured it. And thankfully, sometimes I do miss things and not think of some mechanic and be like, oh, this should work. And then it fails miserably. Well, this one panned out and it ended up working. So I'm pretty happy with that. At least got through that without having to burn something super good. It's always tough when they got Han and Chewie in there, knowing who I'm going to have to go after and who can tank out Han's shot first. It can be a big mess. So that worked out, thankfully. Now, the only thing I could think of to clean up this team without using something I would need elsewhere or save for the back is EP with Vader and Thrawn. I mean, it sucks to have to burn Vader and Thrawn, but that's what I got to do because I got Fracture to help control him. If I can get him down and stack some debuffs on him, then at least I can Culling Blade him. And then if I ability block him, I can just basic with Thrawn and get that automatic stun for him. So that's one extra plus there of just being able to control him. So you see I got the fracture off, trying to get shock on him, ability block. Again, try to keep that shock on there. And right here I was like, do I top up protection? No, I'll just basic and get the stun. So I did that. Get some more dots on there. Now I can send protection over to where I want. Got fracture up again. I do like that fracture comes back around so quickly in this. It's pretty nice. So I did my basic there. That way I can be sure to just be able to go into Merciless this next time here. And then once I go into Merciless, I can Culling Blade him and he should die. So it worked out. Only 23 banners there, unfortunately. But at least I got through it. Open up the back to see what he's got back there. And look at that. He's got Kylo with Daka and Zombie. That's probably the most pain in the ass team there. And he's got some other stuff there. There's a Nest team with IG and Queel, Grievous, a Dooku team. All that's fine, but that Kylo team wasn't really expecting that in the back. And that's kind of a pain to go up against. So let's start off with the teams that I do have a good idea to go against. And then we'll get to that Kylo. So I played this one just like a typical BAM team with IG and Queel, except it's got Nest in there. I took the exact same team I would normally use, Bosk with Mando and Grief, and just let Mando's Disintegrate do the work. The only thing you got to watch out for is Nest will hit hard and keep going and counterattack and all that. So you end up taking her out pretty early, just like you would if BAM was in that spot. And that's the way I treated it. I figured, well, this should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. You go Bosk lead, still pretty tanky. The only difference is Nest can circumvent the taunt, so everyone else has to be able to survive for a little bit. But you see that I already do have the contract out. I've got Mando's Disintegrate up. Bye-bye Nest. And now you treat it just like you would any other team with IG and Queel on there. I just flip it on auto and let it go to work. Auto's going to cycle through the moves a lot faster than I can. And that way they'll go and just disintegrate IG-11. And then after that, you just take out Queel with regular damage. So it works pretty much the same way. Just got to be careful in the beginning, but no problem. So after that, I decided I was going to try my luck at the Supreme Leader Kylo team. I don't think I'd fought one of those in a while anyway, using Jedi Master Luke as the counter. I really wasn't sure who to bring with him. So Cam, I think, is a good choice because he hits hard. And then I figured, okay, Ahsoka, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get rid of Taunt on Zombie, at least briefly, and be able to go target Daka. So my goal was to target Daka and try to get her out. That way she couldn't bring anybody back, because she can bring Kylo back. And that would be pretty nasty if I was able to kill him. So you got to get rid of her, kill her twice to get rid of Zombie's 2 free saves, and then kill her a third time to get her out. And so all that time, Kylo's going, building up his ultimate bar. You see he's like halfway there. And I'm still working on killing Daka. I think that's what makes this team pretty decent, at least in threes anyway, is that you got to have something really good to be able to take it out and start making progress. So got rid of Daka, go after her again, finally got her out. Now I've just got Zombie there, but Kylo's still doing his thing. He's about to go into ultimate here because he's got enough juice. I'm going into my ultimate, so I'm like, well, okay, that's good. Wish I would have had a healer or something on my side. You know, that would always help, because look at Jedi Master Luke in the yellow. So I did Ahsoka's heal, but it wasn't enough to really do anything. Going after Kylo, but he's in ultimate. And by the time he goes his second move in ultimate, he kills off my supporting cast, and then I'm just in the yellow. So that sucked. I mean, nothing I can do there. So while I was figuring out what I was going to do, I'll just move on to the next team and work on his Grievous team. This is the same. You guys have seen me use Mon Mothma, Cassian, and K2. These guys really work pretty well for the most part, except he's got Grievous with Magna and then Droideka in there. And so it's like the little changes, you know. Droideka can hit hard and one-shot somebody. If he does that at the wrong time, you're going to be stuck. He went after K2 there, so that's fine. The little summon guy ended up getting killed, so that's one less body you have to take hits on the field. It's, you know, not great. Trying to get through Magna so I can make some progress on taking out Droideka, because he's going to be a little bit annoying, and then he goes back into damage immunity, so you got to deal with trying to wait for him to get out of that. Almost got Magna down, does take a while, and then watch this. Grievous goes, he does his AoE, ends up killing Cassian, then Droideka goes and kills K2, and it's like, well, it was going good until it wasn't. So that failed too. At this point, even if I was able to figure out something for Kylo, I'm like, with multiple battles dropped, I mean, this round is in the shitter. So let's just try and clear as much as we can to get as many points as we can, because I'm still trying to hit Kyber. I mean, you can't win them all. Some people can maybe, but I can't. And so if I can't win and it's going to be a loss, let me try to at least get as many points as I can towards Kyber. So let's go on with the next battle here. He's got Newt with Jango and L3. You can take Triumvirate against that, and it works pretty well. You cycle through to your Annihilate pretty fast, and I use that to just take out Jango because he does a ton of damage, especially once you start cleansing off that extortion. He just goes and goes and goes, and he'll end up killing your team if you're not careful. And I definitely didn't want that, because he's done that before where he's killed off Nihilus, and then you just end up getting stuck. So without him there, I can work on killing the others. I got a death on Newt. That way he's got one down, trying to work on the next one and just get him out of there. L3's isolated, so I don't have to worry about the taunt. And just keep focusing on Newt as much as I can. Topped up the L3 with another Isolate and sent it over to Nihilus to reduce cooldowns. Almost got that Annihilate up, and that'll help chew through L3. Get her down in one blow. So there we go. Cleanse off the extortion. Trying to get everybody back to full health. That's the only reason I stalled it, is I want to at least get them back to full health and then be able to kill L3. Everybody's looking as good as they can, so we annihilate, and there we go, 51 banners there. With cleaning up that lone Grievous, I was like, what cleans up Grievous? It's been so long since I had a lone Grievous to deal with, so I thought, okay, I'll just use my Malik here. I saved Malik, and he does, he does pretty good. I remember the old days when we used to use like a Grievous nuke team to kill Darth Revan teams and stuff. I would try different team comps, and if it got down to Malik versus GG, you would always end up losing because Malik would drain once GG went to go, and he was at only health. And so I used that to my advantage there. I was like, once I get him down to full health, all I have to do is drain once and it's done. So that's what I did and got him out. Now I can go in with my Night Sisters against his Hux team. I was starting to think, like, what do I have left that I can use and kill this team? Everything left needs to be one shot because it's not going good. I'm having to use so much extra stuff because of all these failures that I just don't know what I'm going to do to clear this board. And I don't even know if that's going to end up being possible. He's got Dooku with B1 and B2. So that's not good. And he can put down healing immunity and shock. It's not looking good for me because once Daka gets all that and they try and take her out, it's going to be a nightmare. So I got to try and keep her alive while I'm working them down. I got B2 into the red. They've got Plague. So I just let Plague keep doing its work, keep going after B2, trying to get him out of there. And I end up doing a heal there. Thankfully, I was able to keep everybody alive. And B2 finally died. There goes B1. Dooku got stunned. I think that stun was pretty key to keeping my characters alive there, and still ended up with 51. So that surprised the heck out of me. So I'll leave that Kylo down there because I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go up top and start working through this wall. If I can at least clear it and get ships, there's more points I can get towards progressing toward Kyber. So I need to try and clear this wall, even though it won't be pretty. So he's got Night Sisters with Zalbar there. So I've got Crew, Fox, and Watt. Throw the tank tech on Crew, throw the weapons tech on Fox. And now once I take them out, they shouldn't be able to revive. So we'll get rid of Talzin there. That's going good. I've got just Spirit and Zalbar left to deal with. So I kept trying to get rid of the foresight on Spirit, which is a little bit annoying. It takes time. And then I'm healing up with Watt while I'm doing it, trying to keep everybody topped off. I was like, do I take out Zalbar first, or should I just go after Spirit? Not really sure which one of those is the next one to go after. So I've got Crew's 2 turns stun up. I was like, should I use that on one of them to take him out? And then I thought, no, I'll just basic here. Just keep going around, building up Fox's big hits so that he can one-shot somebody. So I switch gears to go after Zalbar here. And I'm like, let me just take him out. It'll be a little bit easier to go after Spirit. So keep basicing, save the stun. Now Zalbar's gone. Now I can go after Spirit. As soon as I get that stun to come back around, I'm going to use that. Now it doesn't matter about foresight. I can go after Spirit and get that big hit in. Got her into the red there, and now she's gone. And it turned out to be 54 banners. So I guess that counter does work pretty well. Now I've got his bounty hunters to go after. He's got Bosk there. Dengar. Got to take out Dengar. I wish I had a relic Dengar because he's so deadly with the thermals. Like, they are banner stealers. Once he goes and starts putting those off, that's going to end up taking away banners from your team because they are annoying and he cycles back through them so quickly. But I do have, pretty good imps, so I figured I should be able to at least kill something. I got to make them work here. And it's not an ideal counter by any means, but like I said, I was starting to run low on teams and it's what I got left. And it's like, okay, this is probably the best team for me to use imps on out of the choices I have to pick from. So it's like I had to make them work here, even if somebody died. So I'm working on going after Grief, trying to get him out because he's got the mass assist and the heals, and I need to shut that shit down. So I got rid of him. Now I can go after Bosk. Just trying to go after him and get him down as quickly as possible before Dengar can do too much damage with his thermals and everything. So that worked, and I did throw it on auto. After Grief was down, there's not going to be anything different than what I would pick manually. What's next? He got his Maul team. Now, obviously, I didn't expect these guys to win, but I've been using my Jawas a lot lately, and I thought, okay, I'll throw them in here. Maybe they'll be able to soften up the team. If I can take out somebody, so much the better. If I can't kill anybody, at least, maybe I can weaken them or burn some cooldowns and make it easier for a real team to be able to take him out. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Nothing strategy-wise or anything. I was just like, let me do what I can and see what happens. So they're just putting thermals on, doing their thing. It would be nice if I could get Maul out there. He's in the yellow. So it's like, if I can just get him out, that would be fantastic. So right here, I got Scavenger's turn. I was like, I could throw the bomb and see what happens. And it wasn't enough to take him out. He's still in the yellow. So that accomplished basically nothing. Got him down into the red, but he's still alive. So the next team you throw in, still going to have to deal with all three of them and the lead ability. I think I threw in some other junk after that. I'm not sure. Plenty of failures going around today, so it was time to dig deep. And you see I'm digging deep when you see a Poggle Sunfac Droidica team. And I was like, I gotta make these characters turn into something. I'm looking for any kind of drop of synergy here. And I don't know, maybe some of y'all do the same thing, because that's what happens when you get down to the bottom parts of your roster. It's like you got to cobble something together. And look at Droidica putting in work, doing damage, killing these guys off. Now it's 1-1, and he was able to pull out the win. Not pretty at all, but, you know, he did it. So now I'm going after his Hux team. This one was tough. I think I ended up dropping a few battles. I just didn't have anything left. And I'm like, am I really going to get stuck on this? Because I got this team and that Padme left to deal with. And I got something for the Padme team, but I got to make what I got left in my roster work against this team. So I've got to kill somebody, or at least get them weakened and kill them with several teams, just whatever I got left. So I tried Moff Gideon lead, got Death Trooper there, and Shore Trooper. I mean, that's all I got. These are characters I don't normally use in regular teams, just left over. Happen to have Moff Gideon. So I threw him in there hoping he could do something. I mean, he's got a lead. I don't have the Zeta on it. And he was taken out right away, you know, even before Shore and Death were. I was hoping I could kill one character and use Death for Death Mark and be able to make some progress that way. But I can't get around the taunt that he's got going on, so I just get stuck. It seems like Faust ends up taunting so much. So that was a mess. I think there is where I ended up throwing an extra team in. Then I tried Sidious because he's got a leadership ability. Figured maybe he'll make Marauder hit harder. And then I got my own Sith Empire Trooper as a tank. And I almost had Hux out. Got him into the yellow. But then, of course, I'm stuck behind taunt. So I have to end up dealing with that. And it's and then I was lagging out as I tried. I was like, I got Sith Troopers AoE there. So I used that. And it still wasn't enough to get Hux down. So all that, and I ended up not really making much progress there. I left it with Hux in the yellow, and so I was like, I gotta be able to do something. You see me just throwing stuff out now that has any kind of synergy. So I've got Phasma with OG Kylo and Wampa, and was able to finally get Hux out. I thought, okay, at least with Hux out, I can clean up with something, and they're not going to have synergy. But I do have Wampa here, so maybe I can finish it off with this. I mean, he's Relic 5, and he does hit pretty hard. So look at him. He's putting in some work. Got the tank in the red. Got him out. Now Fox left. I'm just letting them do their thing, and, you know, it ended up working out. So leave it to Wampa to be able to pull through. I think he's a great character for 3v3. Saved me more times than I can count. Definitely when you need some firepower, he's there. So it was not pretty, but I was able to get through. And then I did save my C for that Padme team because I know C can solo Padme. So as long as I had him left, I knew I'd be able to get through that team and get to ships. Now, it's not pretty at all, but if I can just get through and be done, get to ships, do that, that's at least a decent amount of banners saved. At this point, though, I mean, I didn't even care. Like, I cared, but I didn't care, so I just threw C on auto. I didn't even pay attention. Let me link this, let me link that, because honestly, I don't think Padme is a C counter in 3v3, so if she's not a C counter, that means I should end up winning at the end of it all, no matter what happens. So I just let C do his thing. He goes into ultimate, does that, and then I know once he does that skylight, and it's game over. So there we go, still 55 banners there. He did his job, got me through, thankfully, and I get to ships, only Malevolence and Rebels there, and I struggled on those. I used Negotiator against his Malevolence, ended up with only 59 banners there, so I didn't even break that 60 banner plus mark. And then on my Malevolence against his Rebels, I ended up with 58. I mean, it was just a constant struggle this whole round. So forget all that, man. That was like the best I could do. I couldn't clear Kylo. Had that last zone that obviously I wouldn't be able to get through. But it is what it is. And, you know, we'll just suck it up and move on to the next round and try to bounce back with a win there. But that was the best I could do. And, you know, I'm sorry if you guys didn't learn anything, but it's more points towards Kyber. So hopefully I should still have a chance to hit that. We'll catch you guys next round. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.